Hello, everyone, and we are now welcoming the time of fall and the season of gratitude and harvest. And it's been really lovely as I have entered back into work again, and I've already received these amazing boxes of produce from my mentees and my students and my clients. And so I am so grateful uh, to to be in the time of harvest and in the time of gratitude and extending our thanks. One of the things that people come to me for in my courses and in my mentoring is spiritual development or developing our spiritual identity. Who are we? And when we think about who we are, I think about how we're constantly being invited, we're constantly being given uh, this invitation from life, this invitation from everything that has come before us, and this invitation also from everything that will come after us, and everything and everyone who is sharing this planet with us now. We're constantly being invited to develop, to grow, but also there is this need to preserve or to care for what is most valuable and what is most meaningful. So when I think about um, when I think about that, it's so interesting. With my scarf, I was just this scarf is a scarf um, that I found at a weavers collective in Bali, and it is, if I'm correct, this has been dyed with jackfruit. Uh, I believe this is the one that's been dyed with jackfruit. And the weavers, the women's collective, it's a way for women to engage in um, and to preserve what has meaning and to be supported by their gifts and their talents. And I think that's really what we all want to discover is just the miracle of what lives within us and our ability to offer it, but also to preserve that which is good and true and lasting, and that which is really our work. And we have our emotional work, our spiritual work, our physical work, and all of that work wants to belong to our lives and have a place where we are caring for ourselves, where we're caring for what has meaning, and we're also caring for our loved ones and those that share our lives, share our community, share our planet. And so I know those are like big thoughts, but we can each discover and recover who we are. We can each discover our spiritual identity. And one of the things that I've noticed is that um, a lot of the places where fellowship happened, or a lot of the places where there was spiritual connection, or people would go in order to have fellowship with others, or to connect with others, and to create spiritual connection, and even spiritual. Some people would call it a spiritual family, or a chosen family. I think that you know wherever people get involved, it gets kind of interesting, right? So, as people, as human beings, we have to keep an eye on ourselves and make sure that, we are in our integrity and that we are amenable to feedback and that we're approachable, especially anyone who is in any kind of spiritual leadership. But we're all in spiritual leadership with ourselves, and uh, we can all take a look at how we want to connect with our spirituality and discover who we are as spiritual beings. And so I think about how everybody's a miracle, how we're all these incredible miracles, and um, we've been given this incredible place to be and to live. And I was talking about the harvest and to really to come into the knowing of ourselves and the discovery of ourselves and the letting go of who we are, and the connecting with who we are and the embodiment of who and what and where we are and what we love. So I think that right now, in regards to spiritual development, we each need to connect with the divine and the sacred in our own ways, but also just the recollection of there are sacred gifts that we each carry, that everyone carries particular gifts, and those gifts want to be given. The purpose of life is to give our gifts away. Um, I'm trying to think of who that quote is from. I'm just like, I know I'm quoting someone, so hopefully someone can find who that is, and I can put it in the chat later. But the purpose of life is to give our gifts away, and so in our spiritual development, there is so much that can support the miracle of who we are. And one of the things that really supports that is the ability to be curious, the ability to have wonder, to wonder about things, to not know things. It's such an interesting consideration to think about how, if we can become curious, everything is available to us. The world opens up to us, and we also need to be curious about ourselves, and also about having a relationship with the divine. And if we don't have a relationship with the divine, we can have a relationship with the earth and with the other beings that live here, with the animals and creatures. And so, how do I bring consciousness and curiosity, awareness to where I am, the environment that I'm in, the impact that I'm having, the interactions that are going on, and am I at home with myself? And if I'm not, how can I discover how to be at home with myself and my body and with my being? And life is full of all kinds of different things, and we are all faced with a lot of different pressures right now. But how can we bring our best selves, to those experiences, and also, how can we, not only our best selves, but how can we also have a place to rest in that spirituality, or in that way of being. And so I would invite us to think about what a miracle we're each this incredible miracle. So I'm a miracle, you're a miracle, everyone is a miracle. It's pretty fucking amazing how we all got here and got bodies, and it's really quite something. And then, how do I want to eat? I love this. We can evolve or we can devolve. And I'm not sure what process we're in right now. But we could focus on, what would it mean for me to have an evolution that felt good to me, that felt good to the people in my environment, that I could really stand behind, and that I could really stand for. Where do I want to see us go as human beings, as a community, as a planet, where do I want to see us, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? Where do I want to see myself? So those are all really powerful questions. And one of the things I know that there are certain rituals and certain things we've gotten used to that aren't really rituals, but things we've gotten used to, and that we are in need of transformation and change. There's a really beautiful poem by Sidonia Cahill called Circle Wisdom. And it reminds me that life is a ceremony, and that we're all involved in this incredible miracle of, I have juice this morning, and there's this miracle of this juice that came into this glass from all these different fruits, from all these different places. And I mean, what are the odds, right? That all of these miracles could meet in one place and could be nourishing. So this is called Circle Wisdom. And I'm thinking about the ceremony of life when I read this, and about our rituals, and kind of the difference between rituals and habits and consciousness. I invite you to enter for a moment into sacred time and space, into a way of seeing that is broad and spacious, See this day from the time you arose this morning until you sleep this evening as one long ceremony, divided into small and familiar rituals, your heart as the altar, you part of the cycles of light and darkness. Now, begin to see your life from the moment of your conception until the time of your death as one long, continuous ceremony. One long, continuous ceremony filled with many rituals, some familiar, some unknown and challenging. Your home and all your relations, the altar, and you, part of many seasons and cycles. Now, see this ceremony of your life as part of a much greater ceremony that extends 7 generations into the past and 7 generations into the future, made up of many births and deaths. This beautiful spinning earth, the altar. You, part of the great ebb and flow. Now, if you will, imagine this larger ceremony to be but one part of a ceremony so grand, so magnificent as to be hardly comprehensible. A great, vast ceremonial circle, rich and vibrant with millions upon millions of swirling circles of dancing light. And you, one of those dancing circles, a dancer on the altar that is the universe, where time is eternal, where time is eternal. And her last line is, may you dance in beauty. Sidonia Cahill, Circle Wisdom. And so I also wanted to share, it is my niece's birthday, and I'd written a poem for her, and I may have shared this poem. I think I've shared this once in the past. It's from Honey Collections, which is one of the poetry books, which is a poetry book. And I wrote this poem for her the day after she was born. And so this is for Sequoia, and happy birthday, Sequoia. You were born yesterday at 9 a.m. on October 6th. How soft we are coming in on a wave of the great mystery, deep, profound, like moons made of paper. Our first cry, the sunrise striking the world with our body's entrance. Everything is moved, changed, opened, and then closed again as we sleep against the ribs of our adult creature who pressed us into this world. Like a flower aching for sun, and you come to now from your wilderness of crimson, the inside of her body, your home. You cannot return, but your skin and flesh is hers, and not as much his, but still he resides in your blood, moving in constant flight. I hold you here tenderly, wanting you to know this is wholly perfect, this world. I understand your place. Now the world will open its greatest treasures for you, where you must find your own face in the veins of leaves, wings of birds and people, the ancient songs of fire and wind. Your voice, your hands, your seasons can only be known to you in this way. To enter the body of life, to know inside all the journeys of your truth, and to reside there in the nest of who and what you love. To enter the body of life, to know inside all the journeys of your truth, and to reside there in the nest of who and what you love. Happy birthday, Sequoia. And I look forward to seeing everyone next week. I'm going to be with Issa again, and we're going to be speaking about the Nagi, the guardian spirit, in the order of things. So we look forward to seeing you then, and simply think about being curious and about your relationship to your gifts and your miracle of life that our miracles of life that we've all been given, and how to serve the world with our gifts. And how do I want to grow? In what ways do I want to grow at this time? What do I want to grow in my nature? And what am I really, really willing to go into? And what is it that I want to let go of? And so, one last thing is Rachel Carson says, one way to open your eyes is to ask yourself, what if I had never seen this before? What if I knew I would never see it again? One way to open your eyes is to ask yourself, what if I had never seen this before? What if I knew I would never see it again? Rachel Carson. Have a beautiful week, and we will see you very soon.